Grand Rising, Grand Rising. It's October the 8th. It's a nice day here in Virginia. It's like 55 degrees, nice crisp morning. I already went to the gym, did my little exercise there. 30 minutes, that's all. Get in and get out. I hit the sauna. It was real nice. So now, good morning. Now I'm out here hitting the trail. So we're going to do another trail talk. So this one's going to be about believing in yourself. We always heard that saying, if you believe, you can achieve. But believing is hard. First, it really starts, I believe, this is my personal opinion. Believing in yourself starts as a child with the foundation that's built in your younger years. I believe the ages from 0 to 13 is really important as far as stressing believing in yourself, because that's your foundation. That's you coming up from kindergarten to 8th grade, which to me are the most important, because that's where you learn your social skills. That's where you learn about responsibility. That's where you learn about initiative. That's where you learn about all these different things that are really the foundation of you believing in yourself. It's all a mindset. And I try to drill that into my kids. Do things with pride. Try to do things without being told. Same things that my parents, drilled in me. Growing up. It's the same principles. And I really believe. That's why, as I became an older man, I'm all old, not an older man, but as I began to gain age, it was really easy for me to take risks because I already had a foundation to believe in myself. And I already knew that every failure is a learning experience. I failed a lot coming up. It seemed like everything I loved, everything I tried my hardest at, failed at it. I wanted to play football. Played football. I'm not going to say it was a complete failure, but we never had a winning season, It didn't feel good to win 3 games a year, 4 games a year, But I still really truly believed that we had some of the best teams. We just wasn't put in the right position. And I believe as a parent, as a coach, as a teacher, whatever you're doing, it's our responsibility to put people in the right position to be successful. If you have the resources to do it, and I'm not just talking finances and monetary stuff, your mindset is a resource, your brain is a resource, how you think, that's a resource. All these different things, if you have that, you should want to share it and help other people, help other people be great. Because as we all know, time go by fast. One day you 12 years old, and the next thing you know, you 24. And you blink, you 48. Like, what's going on? Like, what have you done along the way to help people? And I ain't saying you gotta overexert yourself and, go out your way to try to make people successful, but, give them tips, give them pointers. If you've been there before, help them out. And I think that's really important for people to understand. Quit trying to give people advice about something that you have no familiarity with, something you've never been through. You've never experienced this, but you're trying to give people advice on this topic. How in the hell do that work? Who raised y'all? Like T.K. Kirkland would say. But It's I was kind of drifting a little bit, but um, one thing I would like to say is, although I didn't have the perfect childhood, I had an awesome childhood because I had a lot of people pouring into me, you know, a whole lot of people, and I think that's a beautiful thing when I look back on it. Um, all the people that poured into me and believed in me and seen something in me. I was a knucklehead a little bit growing up. I was a knucklehead, didn't want to listen because I had animosity towards people who I thought had done me wrong, or as a young man, I thought owed me something. You know what I mean? But as you get older, you realize don't nobody owe you nothing. You know, I have a great support system. I have a mom who, she's always there for me. She might talk junk, she might get mad at me or whatever, but she knows at the end of the day, her son has it, and he's gonna use it to get to where he got to go. So I decided. Good morning. I decided 3 years ago to resign from my job. Right. I resigned from a job. I was working for the federal government. I was a GS-13, making great money. At the time, I think I was going on 33. But I had joy in my life, but I just wasn't happy with my output. Most people would be thrilled, like, yo, I'm 33 years old, I'm a GS-13, I'm making six figures, I'm doing this and that. But I was always taught there are no limits, you know what I mean? If you get somewhere and you don't like the situation, or you believe it could be better, you be the supervisor. Stop complaining and do what you need to do to get in charge to make change. Or go somewhere else. Complaining is one of them things that it really shows that you don't have any gratitude, because you can't complain and say you're thankful in the same breath. So, like I said, I decided to resign from my job 3 years ago. I went back to school. I got my master's degree in project management. I got an MBA in project management, and I also have a certification in project management. And all those things are great. All those were things that I had on my list of goals. And my number one goal was always to be independent. Whatever field it was in, I wanted to be an independent owner. I didn't want to have anyone telling me how to get to the end point, because what I noticed coming up as a young man, let me backtrack. Coming up as a kid, up into a teenager, into a young man, into an adult, I always had a logical thinking mindset. And people who know me, they'll tell you the same thing. Like, Skylar, that's all he's a thinker. You know what I mean? And I've had plenty of people come to me. We've had situations where, I would give advice and be like, hey, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that. And, they go the other way and they come back like, man, how did you know that that's what I was supposed to do? And I really believe that God just gave me discretion. You know what I mean? Discernment, I meant. Good morning. And
That's looking like there's a big fish right there. I didn't know where to go.
and I've always been able to use that discernment for good. So anyway, yeah. So I did that, and I finished up everything in 2020. Mind you, I resigned from my job September 2019. So this is before the pandemic. That discernment, something was telling me you know, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. You know, I just seen so many signs that I ignored along the years. And I had been telling my wife for years. For years. I mean, as soon as I started working for the federal government, it's not even that. I just always felt like I was supposed to be doing more than what I was. But I needed to challenge myself. And I just felt like the only way to challenge myself was to make myself uncomfortable and to get closer to God. I wanted to know what my purpose was. And I'm still, every day, I'm still working towards that. Every day waking up is a blessing. A lot of times we can over strive. And that's what I was doing. I was over striving, It was get to the top of that ladder and get up there and do what you need to do to be the best at whatever it is you're doing. And that's what I did. I put a lot of strain on my family. Moving around, I moved from North Carolina to New Mexico, from New Mexico to Oklahoma, from Oklahoma to Georgia, from Georgia to Alabama, from Alabama back to North Carolina, and from one part of North Carolina over to the other part of North Carolina, then from North Carolina, now I'm here in Virginia. It was a great experience. I learned a lot along the way, and it was definitely necessary. But like I said, I had joy, but I just wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. I always felt like I needed to make an impact on people's lives. I always knew that I would be talking to a crowd, motivating people, some form of fashion. I was going to be a motivator. I just didn't know how to get to it. But now I think I see that, it's just putting yourself out there, believing in yourself, and just doing it, just do it. But let me digress. So I resigned from my job in 2019. I complete my master's and my certificate. All that's wrapped up by December 2020. So now here we in 2021. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, what is it exactly that I want to do? I wanted to be impactful, but I just didn't know how. And I'm still trying to figure that out. So we go through the year, things are good. We get around 2020, what was it? Let me digress again. So my wife gets pregnant, and we had a baby, little Chandler, February 2021. So now we in the middle of the pandemic. I got a newborn baby. I already got 2 other kids. I'm not working, and it's time to figure this thing out.